All right. Hey guys, Eric and Tom here at Orc Gaming. We've got another Kings of War battle report.
Something we know something about.
Yeah, something that this battle report will not be excessively long like our Armada one.
Yeah.
You guys will probably realize I'm going to be getting both these battle reports out at around the same time, so keep that in mind. You'll notice I'm holding the wireless mic again.
Nice. You don't have to clip it on here.
Yeah. The downside though is that I have to like keep doing this.
Yeah, like, get your hand in my face.
Because when I was doing the other video, I noticed that sometimes when you were talking, it was kind of fading out, so I had to.
Okay.
We gotta make sure I move that. Yeah, have that in the middle when we're both talking or whatever. But anyway, we did film an Armada battle report, and so that'll be coming out around the same time that this is, just depending on how I put everything together.
Yeah.
We've got some stuff going on tomorrow, which is normally when I put everything together. So hopefully we'll have this out within the next week. Hopefully. So yeah, we are gonna play. We have new armies. Well, at least I have a new army.
Yeah.
And my new surprise army that Tom has
no idea what it is.
has no idea for like almost a year now. So
any hints? Nothing. I have no idea what I'm playing.
The new army is Twilightkin.
Oh.
No, just fucking with you. It's orcs.
Is it orcs?
It's orcs.
I was right. So I
That's why I didn't want you to be like, wait a minute, I was right. Yeah, it's orcs.
so I asked is it orcs? No, it's not orcs. I figured it. I figured it was.
So I bought orcs like 4 years ago. Never put them together. Never did anything like that. So yeah, I wanted to hold the suspense a little bit. I mean, when you were like, it's orcs, I was like, damn it. No, it's not.
No, it's not. I figured it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What gave you the clue? Just the fact that I'd bought them before, or what?
You were talking about your army list, kind of, and you're like, and I figured that's what fit was the orcs.
Fair enough. I kind of figured that you knew, but it was still.
The first thing I said was it's orcs.
It was a good clue. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of interesting, kind of a different style than what I'm used to. Just how large the bases are.
Oh, the 25.
Yeah, it's definitely something to get used to. Was a lot of fun to build though.
Nice.
I really, really, really like the Mantic orcs.
I haven't really seen them too much, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other reason why I did it is because we've never really played a whole lot against them. They were not popular in second edition because they were kind of basic.
Yeah.
They didn't have a whole lot, and in third edition they have some cool little things they can do, and so that'll definitely it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. Yeah, exactly. It'll be something different and something that we can test against different armies and stuff like that. So. But yeah, so it'll be 2220, just like I was gonna say 2250. God, we haven't played that in years. 2220. We are gonna figure out what the scenario is, and we'll do deployment. I wanted to film this before we put the.
You won't tell me what it is.
I wanted the shock value on camera, so yeah, I wanted to make sure that everybody got his expression of.
Oh, it's orcs.
I already knew what it was. But I want everybody to get that expression. So, and then did you get your army?
Not yet. It's still in the mail.
Damn it, Sri Lanka.
Damn it, Sri Lanka.
God, whoever runs the post offices in there or in that country.
Yeah, should be here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nice.
Sri Lanka. So I mean, I don't know how their post office works, but.
Yeah. So anyway, I forgot my tripod again, but luckily this is a lot more stable of a platform. That's a lot more stable, and at least we can actually see each other in the the monitor, so we actually know if we're like in frame or not. So, but all right, we're going to deploy, and then we're going to figure out we're going to figure out the scenario, then deploy, and we'll go over all of that with you guys here in just a sec. All right. So we got Ratkin versus the Orcs. Let's see how the Ratkin's set up.
Got 3 hordes of shock troops.
Yeah, you do.
Got a BSB with the loot. And then
Nice.
Scud. Little Scud.
And good old Scud. Okay.
2 mute rat fiends. 2 more hordes of shock troops and a BSB.
How many drops is this army?
I think it's not a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Or 9.
9. I think you got 10, right?
1, 2, 3,
5 right there.
Yeah, 10.
Not bad. So, for those of you guys, we'll go over the board here in a second, but the terrain we did up a little bit differently. So you guys will see this will impact my army a little bit more than his, just because you also have all of your units, all of your shock troops there, because we can't say shock blight because that confuses people. So shock troops, they all have plague pots and they all have heavy halberds, so they have phalanx. Ooh, ouchie, ouchie. So let's go over what the orcs have. All right, for the orcs, I've got 1 Crudger on a winged slasher. I've got a regiment of gore riders with a regiment of fight wagons behind them. I've got a nice little regiment of orclings, thank you, with a horde of orcs, just the basic axes. That unit has Brew of Sharpness. And then behind them, I've got a God Speaker. He's got Shroud of the Saint with Heal and Bane Chant. Holding down the middle right there, I have a War Drum. Just a basic War Drum, no dread or anything like that. Then behind the other horde, I have Ulpgar the Mad. And then I have another horde of Axe with Blessing of the Gods. And then over here, I have... Ooh. Almost went past them. I have another regiment of fight wagons. Yes, guys, some of those models I forgot to paint, so I will be painting them in the next week or 2. And then another regiment of gore riders, followed up on my other flank by another Crudger on winged slasher. So, as far as objectives go, well, scenario was smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors.
So we have 10 bluff counters on the board. We've got 1 right there, and we've got 1 right there. We've got 1 right next to the river. We've got 1 right there in the open. We have 1 on the bridge. The bridge to, well, actually, it's not the bridge to nowhere, because there's got somewhere to go now. Another token or a bluff counter right there. Another bluff counter near the river. Another bluff counter. You guys can barely see it right there in the lake. And then another bluff counter at the base of the hill. So the way that smoke and mirrors works, oh my God, I'm just stepping on stuff left and right. God in heaven, I'm just destroying stuff. All right, guys, the way that smoke and mirrors works is these are all bluff counters. I know what mine are.
Yeah.
I probably have already forgotten, but Tom knows what his are. Each opponent starts with 5 of them. You have to place your 5 on the opponent's half of the board. Facing downwards, so that way your opponent does not know what you have and what they have. And then at the end of each turn, 2. I think it's the end of turn 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2 because there's 5 of them, so that makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. At the end of turn 2, you pick 1 up on your side of the board.
Yeah.
Each player does. Yeah, each player does. So obviously it doesn't do me any good to pick up the ones on Tom's side of the board because I know which ones are which. So I will turn over one bluff counter on my side. Tom does the same. And then we do that at the end of every turn, obviously, from that point on. Bluff counters are treated as objective markers, so they cannot be picked up or moved. In this game, it really wouldn't help us to pick them up and move them too much because, as you guys can see, it's going to be a smashy kind of game. As far as the terrain goes, we have a forest. We have another forest. we have a height 4 bridge that we can actually cross, though. That's kind of how we're playing it, just because we do have this huge river. So if you're crossing on the bridge, you're unhindered, right? Okay. But as far as everywhere else, you're going to be hindered because we have this nice lake kind of running, or river, which flows into a lake. And how we're treating that is it is height 0.
Yeah.
It's difficult terrain for when you're moving through it, though.
You can't take cover in the river.
Right, obviously you can't, unless you're like the Orclings, maybe.
They might
but
be able to.
Other than that, nobody else is going to be able to. Right here we have a height 3 hill. Let's see. We also have 2 impassable houses over here. There's another impassable house on the other side as well as an obstacle over there. And then I am resting some of my dudes on height 1 hill.
Height 2.
I'm sorry, height 2 hill.
Nothing's height 1.
God in heaven, you know, that would be one of my only complaints about this game. Why did we have to change the height values?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
Why
All right, I get it, guys. Believe me, I understand. This is more of a philosophical question, not an analytical question. So for those of you out there that are like, well, they changed it because obviously for these guys right here, you can't have a height 1 model and then have something that's under height 1. Okay, I get it, guys. I totally get it. Regular models are height 2 because then you have swarms, which are height 1. Yeah. I understand that. But are you kidding me? We have to do the same with terrain? Like, seriously? How can you not have a height 1 hill?
I know.
You know, we live in Colorado here, and so we have all different types of hills. We even have things called foothills, which most people call mountains.
Yeah.
So, or I'm sorry, mountains. Sorry, here in Colorado we don't pronounce the T. So just my own little rant. Anyway, other than that, I love the game. I'll get off my soapbox now. But yeah, so kind of a different terrain setup for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It adds a little bit of a different tactical element to it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I think it looks, yeah, it does. It looks super, super cool, especially in 4K. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
But it'll add a little bit different element, especially for me, because as you guys noticed, a lot of my army is super fast. So this will actually slow them down a little bit. Your army, I mean, you're still going to be hindered just like I am, unless you have Pathfinder, which I don't know why you would give a Horde Pathfinder. But, to each their own. Whatever you want to do. Now, do the Rat Fiends, they have Strider, right?
They have Strider.
Okay, cool. So they're not impacted by anything, which is fine. I want them to get to me. I want these guys to die first, and then, by all means. All right, we're going to get going on to turn 1. As far as deployment strategies go, I know that we've had some requests for us to explain a little bit more about our strategies. So, I mean, I will obviously give my strategy, and then Tom will give kind of his. We don't want to give too much because obviously we're playing each other, so we don't want to give too much right away. But as you can tell, I have a lot more speed on the flanks. And that is pretty common for most armies, especially armies throughout history. Usually you want your speed on the flanks.
That's how it usually works. You got your block in the center. Your
Yeah,
in the center,
yeah. And
the
the Orcs, luckily, are they are what they are, guys. Just the way that the army is designed. I have the 2 Horde blocks right there in the middle, and then I have the War Drum in the center with some inspiring in the back. And the reason why it's set up that way is because the War Drum gives rallying 2 to any Orc unit within 6 inches. So my hordes go from being a nerve of 20-22 to 22-24. And that's really how the Orcs are designed. They want you to use synergy.
Yeah, keep them together.
Yeah. And
together.
they even did a really cool thing with the War Drum where you can actually put it on a chariot now.
I saw that.
and run it with your faster units if you want to. That's not how I'm doing it. I'm doing it a little bit more traditional of an Orc army. But again, you're going to have your speed on the flanks, so that way you can push the flanks, try and funnel most of your opponent towards the middle, where they can get grinded up by the units in the middle. Now, is that likely going to happen? Probably not, but Tom knows the deployment, because let's be honest here, unless you're running an unorthodox Orc list, this is probably going to be the way you deploy your Orcs.
Yeah. If you ever have speed, you put them on the flank, you put them up the middle.
Right. Right. Right, because typically, guys, in Kings of War, your speedy items are not going to have as much nerve. They're not going to be as strong as far as defense-wise.
And you want to push the flank. You want to get up there.
Right.
So you get some rears and sides. And
right. You want to make your opponent turn their army, it's not going to help me at all if he keeps his whole army just marching forward, because that's going to fucking hurt. You know, and then likewise, you know, when we're looking at Tom's army, as far as his deployment strategy, he's got his speed on the flanks, at least with Scud.
Yeah.
And then he does have some speed with his monsters, but really the monsters are just his hammer, or his, I guess, finishing off hammer. Because
if you break through it, and they're there.
They're there to help kind of watch out for the flyers too.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're there to take care of flyers, and you know, he doesn't have any individuals, so he almost has to put some units behind others. He has to stack his units at least on his flanks, and that's why he is stacked right there on his flank, and he is stacked right there on his flank, because he has to counter my flyers.
Jump behind me and start causing havoc.
Exactly. And then what is unique to Tom's army is that his horde, these guys are hammers and anvils, especially with phalanx. They are hammers and anvils, guys, and they're also 30 attacks hitting on 4s. Yep. They're crush 1, but then with his BSBs, I'm sure they have, at least one of them has loot. Yeah, so it's going to be crush 2, which he is going to need. He's going to have to double charge my hordes, because if he just, you know, goes toe for toe with them, might not be too pretty. Unless he gets the crush 2, at which point it'll help, because I am defense 5 on my hordes, whereas his hordes are defense 4. But again, he's got phalanx, which will negate a lot of my attacks with my orc riders and my slashers. Now, the fight wagons are considered to be chariots. Chariots are not affected by phalanx. Yep. But we're talking 2 units. So 2 units as opposed to 4. So, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. For him, at least, it's not that big of a deal. And he's also going to try and create some chaos with Scud. Yeah. Obviously.
I try to keep them in, like, battle groups. That's how I run my list. So, battle group is, like, 2 troops or 2 hordes and a BSB. So you have inspiring for those 2 guys. So everything always has inspiring. I try to keep inspiring bubbles so everything's inspired. That's my whole plan. It's just keep everything so you're inspired, you're together, so you get your rallying, because they all have rallying, so they rally each other, and keeps it at that 22, 24.
And the way that the rats do rallying, I think, is a more efficient way than the orcs, because the orcs, we only have one model.
Yeah.
I got the fight wagon, and it cost me 80 points. So, whereas the almost all of the Ratkin can do rallying, right? Or
yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah. So they rally each other. You don't have to worry about one specific unit or item or whatever it is giving you rallying. So the unit that is attacking you in combat is also providing rallying to the other units. Whereas I really don't want to do a whole lot of combat with my
war drum.
I think they got like 3 attacks. Ooh. But yeah, I mean, again, you don't really want to go toe to toe with that unless you have to. Although Jimmy found out in a test game that we played, that the Cursed Pharaoh could not kill my war drum, which was pretty funny. Yeah, he just couldn't kill it. It was pretty hilarious. But anyway, guys, that's kind of our basic deployment strategies. We'll get going on to turn 1. The excitement of turn 1 begins.
Kind of holding my line here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of speed coming at me, so I gotta hold the line.
I moved up and kind of adjusted my battle line a little bit. You know, obviously my movement is being dictated by the terrain, as with most movement, especially with the river and the lake. That's a lot of difficult. So, you know, I have to be careful because I don't want to get overextended. I don't want to let him pick and choose his targets. I want to be able to pick and choose my targets. Yeah, because I'm going to have to multi-charge him. I'm going to have to hit him 2 units to 1 to at least stand a chance. And against these hordes, I don't even know if I can do that without my hordes. I have faith in the Gore Riders normally, but against a unit with Plague Pots and Phalanx, I don't know about that. That's a little rough.
That's a tough one.
You know, again, I'm going to have to multi, but even with hitting Fight Wagons and Gore Riders, I still don't know if it's going to be enough to take out a horde. Your hordes are tough. They're, what, 22, 24, right, with rallying? Yes, they're only defense 4. However, you know, I'm hitting. If for some reason I was able to move my fight wagons up, move my gore riders up, and theoretically hit one of his units, that is 18 attacks plus 16 attacks. So I mean that's a decent amount of attacks. But these ones are going to be at 4s with minus their thundering, so they do have crush 1 as well. These guys are going to be at a -1 if they have to charge through difficult, which I will have to. Because you'll charge me if I don't charge you. So I'm going to have to charge through difficult in order to get to him, in order to hit his hordes, which will put me at a -1. So these guys will hit on 4s. Those guys would hit on 4s. And then they both would have crushing 1 because I would lose my Thunderous from my Gore Riders. So I don't like those odds quite as well, right? No, I don't like those odds very well. So,
and then we're not even talking about plague pots.
We're not even talking about the plague pots. Yeah, because then that's another -1. Now I'm hitting on 5s. Exactly. So nasty. Very, very nasty. Tom moved back this battle line, which makes perfect sense. Because obviously I'm advancing on this side, and
he's got 4 units to my 2. So it scares me.
Yep. And so what is a good counter for speed? Redeployment.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you can move back and negate a rear charge and shrink the flank, because that's ultimately what you're doing.
I'm trying to funnel them in.
Right, exactly.
So
trying to shrink the flank. But I cannot sit here and I cannot sit here and let Tom just do whatever, because Scud has Lightning Bolt 5. All right, Lightning Bolt 5. And Tom hit and wounded with 4. So yeah, guys, my Crudger, or not Crudger, Crudger on Slasher already has 4 wounds. If I cannot, I mean, yes, could I take another round? Possibly. But now I'm looking at 8 wounds. Yeah, you start piling on wounds. I don't have regen, and I've got to do something with that dude. So do I move him back to save him, or... Because if I do that, now I'm limiting the amount of units that I have over here that could possibly do anything. The likelihood of me charging in with him is rare, just because, again, Tom has Phalanx and Plague Pots, and Phalanx is nasty for flyers. Plague Pots are also not fun for flyers either.
Not fun for anybody.
And then also, it only matters if you land in difficult terrain, but still... It doesn't matter. I'm going to be hitting on 5s. And, 10 attacks, hitting on 5s with Crush 3. Whoop-de-doo. That's not enough. So, what do I do with them? What do I do with him, guys? It's very, very interesting. Again, the excitement of turn 1. Let's go ahead and go on to turn 2.
Turn 2.
Well, we are now going on to... we just finished turn 2.
Yep.
Going on turn 3. And again, guys, more posturing and moving. This is like 2 boxers in a boxing match that are not willing to hit each other yet. I moved up again.
He's got quite the battle line.
So it's,
punching through that early anytime soon.
No, but now becomes the hard part of, just like any guy who plays the field knows, when do you commit? When do you dive in and commit? Because if you commit the wrong place the wrong time, you're going to lose. Yeah. So when do we commit, guys? So Tom moved up one of his hordes of shock troops and moved up Scud, so that way he was back in range, because I did move my dragon out of range, and plinked off another 2 wounds. So I'm up to 6 wounds with him. Oh, and... 11, 17. He's wavered, but he's got Fury, and Fury only applies in close combat. So he's wavered. This is the kind of crap I have to deal with, guys. This is the kind of crap I have to deal with all the time against Tom. Hey, all he needs is an 11. I'm not worried. He rolls an 11. So he's wavered. But again, he's got Fury, which only helps him in close combat. But I don't know. Does it really matter right now? Probably not. I mean, something's going to have to get hurt anyway eventually. I moved my fight wagons up, have kind of an interesting angle here, and then continue to move up my battle line. I had to make a choice here, guys.
This is scary over here.
Yeah, because like Tom was saying,
I was hoping you were going to pull them.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 on. 3-on-3.
3-on-3, right?
Yeah, it's like
I gotta maintain. Yeah, I gotta maintain my this battle line here because one of Tom's strategies that he always does to me is he outnumbers me with units.
Now.
Yeah, and so right now I've got the numbers. The problem though is again he's got plague pots and he's got phalanx. So do I wait? I'm going to have to screen because ultimately, guys, this is what I want to do. I want to get this horde into combat. I want to get this horde into combat. So, how do I do that? He's got more movement than I do. The only way to do that is if we go one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because I will totally take one of your hordes with one of my hordes.
Yeah.
Like any day, right?
Yeah.
Barring any crazy rolls or anything like that, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
However, I've got to then block with another unit. Now, these units are by themselves not very strong. Together,
they're good.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's a good, nasty combo. But I'm going to be going through difficult and everything else. So how much am I willing to throw at screening to stop one of these units just to move this unit up to hit? That is the issue, right? That right there is the question. Also, when we're done here, we have to figure out where the first set of counters are.
Yeah, flip them over.
So anyway, on this side, I moved up into the river, moved up a little bit closer. I'm still trying to figure out, because let's be honest here, guys, the Orclings are not exactly, they're
game changer.
They're lovers instead of fighters, right?
And I'm not worried about the dragon. I'm worried about the Orclings.
No, not worried about the dragon that you wavered. No, it's the Orclings right there, man. That's what you're scared of.
What are they? 350s or 340s? Bases.
40s.
Are they 340s?
Yeah, they're 340s. Yeah. So swarms are the same bases as large infantry.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like 50s, dude. They weren't that expensive, man.
No.
They're just. I mean, the fool's gold rocks were. Even though I procured
I was
those.
just wondering.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of swarms. So.
No. I don't think we see any swarms. I think this is the first time we've ever used a swarm here at 4UP Gaming. So trying to branch out, trying things different. I don't know what the hell's going to happen here. I feel more confident about this side.
Scary.
This side I'm less confident with, especially since you wavered my dude. Do I wait a turn? Let you take more shot? Well, you're going to take shots at him anyway. Do I try and push the issue and then get completely annihilated? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go ahead and turn over.
Take the one on the bridge.
Okay.
0.
Oh no! I'm gonna do this one back here. 0. No, you mean to tell me that you would not give me one? You should have put a 2 back here. Been like, ha! What are you gonna do now? You gonna turn something around to come back and get it?
Yeah.
Guys, when you're playing an Alpha Strikey army, or playing against, I should say, an Alpha Strikey army, that's not always a bad strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it forces them.
Get it over there.
Oh yeah.
For yourself. So.
Well, right. I mean, that would almost be one where it's like, okay, what is it worth? Is it worth taking a unit out of the game?
Oh, yeah. 200, whatever he is. 80.
Yeah, I mean, which one am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to use the dragon. That's 285 points.
That's a good play because it would narrow the field.
Right, exactly. Exactly, because now I got to come back. I got to pretty much sit a 285 point unit on an objective. Yeah, it's 2 objectives or 2 objective points. That's cool.
One would have been good.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to give it 2.
I probably wouldn't do a 2 either. I'd probably do a 1. I think a 1 would be. I think a 1 would be fair. Yeah, I think a 1 would be good. Yeah, and then I thought that was pretty funny.
That was funny.
I knew.
I was like, I bet you that's a 2.
I knew you'd think that was going to be a 2, but I tricked Tom for once. Let's go on to turn. What are we on? Turn 3 now?
Turn 3.
Oh my God. Hopefully, we actually get some bloodshed besides your freaking lightning bolt.
Picking him off, man. He's got some skills. This guy's killing it.
He's just being a douche. All right, we're gonna go on turn 3. All right, end of turn 3, and we finally have something dead.
Yeah, I killed some Orclings.
Those Orclings are now dead.
You got me off the hill, though.
I got him off the hill, which was one of the things I wanted to do. So now the question becomes where to go from here. Obviously, I can't charge you there because you angled weird. So I can charge here.
You can charge here.
With these guys? Okay.
If you want to.
If I really want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. We'll see.
Because you get a free 90. So you turn and you hit like here or somewhere. And then you maximize in.
That's right. Well, the real question, I guess the real question, though, is I guess I'd have to hit there first, a line, and then charge there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, am I ready to let the dominoes fall that way?
We're starting to push the
Are we
envelope
are we ready at this point to let the dominoes start falling? We'll have to see. But anyway, what else did you do? You shot me with a lightning bolt and you failed,
Yes,
finally. Thank God. That was not pretty. Really not pretty. I, again, just kept moving my stuff up, guys. I got my war drum teetering on the bridge here, which is scary as fuck. You moved your battle line back, kind of like I knew you would. I originally thought about moving my dragon, but I kind of like having him here. But now I don't know what to do. Now
Holes in your court.
Yep, exactly.
My move. I pushed my envelope.
It's like, do I want to try and charge? I don't know. It's not going to go pretty for me because the only things I can charge right now are with my stuff that has high speed, which again I'm going to take a minus. Oh, you did not pop plate pots over here, though. Yeah. So I'll only take one minus as opposed to two minuses, which is good. At least with this unit. With these two, I would still take two minus. Well, yeah, I'd still take two minuses because they're going through difficult and they're hitting phalanx. So nasty. Or does it? I'll have to look in the book on how phalanx works. Because I think you'd only be hindered once, but
you can only be hindered once.
Okay, so it's only one minus.
Yeah.
Well, still,
you'll be -1. You can't be -2.
Right. Unless
you pop
it's
plate
ensnare.
pots.
Yeah, and you pop plate pots, then you can. So, yeah. And then, if only I had the angle here, but I don't. So, that's the way the game is, right? We're going to go on to turn 4 now. It's been, we got to turn over. That's right.
Let me take that one. Zero.
I
got both the zeros out.
Oh, no. Let's see. I think I'm sitting on a crap load of them. Let's do this one. 1.
Oh, you found a 1.
Uh-oh. But now do I hold up my battle line for a 1? Do I hold it? Do I hold and just... No, I can't hold because then you're going to destroy me. But still, do I hold? No, I don't hold. All right. We're going to go ahead and go on to turn 4. Man, this game's going by quick.
Moving quick.
All right, guys, we need any more proof that Tom is secretly a voodoo witch doctor.
11. No shit.
You did 11 wounds on them. You did, what? I think you ended up doing 21 wounds on my fight wagons, even though you flanked me through difficult, through the lake.
I needed a big turn there. It was close.
Guys, if you want to go to Vegas with Tom.
I needed a big turn.
Because
that was money right there.
That was not good for me. That was bad. God, that was so bad for me. Guys, this one unit in one round of combat, 30 attacks, they did 9 wounds. So they did their average.
60 attacks.
Well, no. Your first round.
On the first round.
Just in one round. You did 9 wounds in one attack phase. So yeah, without doing the other 30. So
that was a big turn.
I can't. Yeah, that unit should against most people last a little longer than that. But anyway, and then I was expecting these guys to die. You still rolled really well against them.
Yeah.
Even though I was expecting them to die. I mean, we're talking 90 attacks. So it's not, guys. Like always, I'm sure it's a broken record, but it's not looking good for me right now, which I'm really getting sick and tired of saying. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a huge turn. That was money. I gotta say.
Oh my God!
I needed a huge turn, and I did everything.
All right, let's flip over tokens. So this is a 0. That's a 1. Oh no! And yeah.
One's out of the way.
So we're on to turn 5. Turn 5. Oh man. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We only got 2 more to turn over, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and go on to turn 5. And see what happens. Yeah, I lost some stuff. All right. Okay, guys, we're in the middle of turn. What are we in? Turn 5, 6, something.
Yeah.
Turn 5, guys. We have a rules question here. Tom is going off of the charge rules, and I'm going off of what it states in friendly units. All right. So pretty much what it says for the charge, you need 4 things. You need to be able to see them, which he can clearly see my unit. Oh, by the way,
it's actually back, but yeah.
this unit is this unit right here is trying to charge this unit. Okay, so what we're saying is he's got line of sight, he's got movement, okay, and whatever the other elements are for the charge. However, it states in friendly units that you cannot charge through your own unit. So you would have to charge, he would have to interpenetrate into this unit without becoming clear of it, which he cannot do, and then charge. So, help us out, guys. I'm saying no, he cannot, because of the rule where it says you cannot charge through your own unit, which clearly he would have to charge through his unit in order to hit here. Tom is saying that it satisfies the 4 rules for a charge. Which one is right?
Yeah.
Because we're both kind of at odds on that one. And it's good to know for tournaments and stuff like that, or for just basic play. So by all means, guys, please let us know in the comments. And also cite your material. don't just say this is the way it is. If you could please break it down for us, because we just don't know these things very well. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go continue on with our turn here. All right, guys. So as you can see, my stuff died, except for this. Now let's talk about the bullshit that happened over here. Hindered with 30 attacks. Okay, so he needs 5s, and then you needed 4s.
Yeah, because your defense 5.
And you did 8 wounds. 8 wounds.
This guy did
on a dragon.
He did like 6 wounds.
He did great too, yeah. But between the two of them, they killed the dragon in one fell swoop, even though one was hindered. Guys, this is the pain that I live with all the time. Obviously, the cav were going to die. We knew that, but holy crap! Yeah,
took a weird turn.
This is what I'm used to, guys. And of course, my fight wagons, he whooped up on them. Did I think he did 10 or 11 wounds, and then of course rolled a 7. Because again, that's what happens. So now I've got to try and pull something out of my butt. I might be able to take
2 units against.
I'm able to take
units.
one of them, but I definitely can't take both. So it's like, ooh, which one do I do? I'm hindered either way. This one has 3 wounds. That one has 2. Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out which one. And then you did waver my dragon. Luckily, he's got fury, so I can attack back. But ouch. Yeah, right. He's up to 12 wounds. He's not going to survive another round of combat. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's not looking too good for the orcs. Their maiden voyage on the channel is not looking too good. They were looking pretty promising at the beginning of the game, but as all games go, there are different changes with the game. So we shall figure out what happens. Okay, guys, we are going to skip to the end. Well, not skip, really. I mean, this was pretty much the end. That was a 1 over there.
You get double flanked.
Yeah, so charged in here. I tried to heal him back a little bit. And for like the 3rd turn, this guy did not heal anything back. They did a whopping...
I think 8.
Like... Yeah, 8 wounds.
Yeah.
They did 8 wounds. Okay, not bad. But when your bread and butter are these hordes, you need more than 8 wounds. You can't get bogged down with these. Over there, I think I did
7.
Yeah. They weren't even hurt at all, were they?
Yeah.
7 wounds, which, as you guys know, normally that's what you normally see on a horde. But when I'm playing Tom, Tom's usually getting like freaking 10, 15, 20 wounds. So that's just the way it is. And yeah, guys, that unit's going to get wiped out. That unit will get wiped out. He's going to finish off the dragon there. And even though he's not near any tokens, he's still going to win by default. Yeah, he's got 2 turns to get around there. So, guys, I really think that the board kind of screwed me a little bit here. Although, Tom, we talked about it, and, did it help in some ways? Maybe. I really think it hindered more than it helped. But... hey, it is what it is. I could not roll a shit to save my life at all, although I don't like to blame the dice. That was just a rough game. So we're going to go ahead and do our review real quick, and then you guys can get on to bigger and better things. All right, guys. Well, you stopped by for my weekly, or I guess
Beat
monthly,
down.
beat down. My sadism is alive and well, which is good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the new army. I enjoyed playing it for the
cool
first
army.
4 turns.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And then after that, it was not fun. But that wasn't because of the army necessarily. It was just because of how things went. So I liked the river. It definitely added a different element, although it definitely impacted me more than you because I have fast stuff
It
and
was nasty.
slowed me down.
It
And
makes a difference.
yeah.
Everybody's hindered. It's like hindered.
well, and then the fact that you have 5 hordes that have phalanx and ensnare for a turn doesn't help. So yeah, I could hit stuff, but I wasn't really going through anything. So that definitely hurt.
Put this list together last night. Little Ratkin, shock troop, horde, spam kind of.
He was like, you're running a fast list, huh? All right. Well, I'm gonna run a bunch of
I had no idea
phalanx.
what he was running until he told you guys before he told me. So,
Although he did know what kind of list I was running, because it was similar to your list, right? Yeah, in theory. When you know it's fast, you know it's going to be mostly cav, flyers, stuff like that, because that's just the way the game is.
Yeah.
Unless I was running a bunch of herd, which I don't think anybody runs herd anymore in 3rd edition. So we know it wasn't that. But anyway, it's always fun to play the game, guys, even when you get your ass beat.
I was actually kind of leaning towards Trident Realms, is what he had.
Yeah, that would have been nice, wouldn't
Orcs,
it?
and he's like, no, it's not Orcs. And I was like,
Then the river would have helped me.
yeah.
Then it would have counted as cover too. I could have just gone underneath the water and you can't hurt me.
Yeah.
So that'd have been nice, right? No, the other thing though too is that I swear to God, your dice, man. Oh my God. Didn't matter what you had, your dice were just like, hey, you need just roll well, all right. You need 9 wounds? Sure. 10 wounds?
9
Sure.
wounds.
Why not? Here you go. Oh, you need another 7 wounds? Sure. Fucking dice, man. Sneak those things into freaking Vegas.
And 5s, they did really
Oh my God, you did that like 3 times to me.
Yeah.
Where you were like, okay, I'm hindered. All right, well,
fives.
I need
Come
5s. Oh, your defense 5, so I need 4s.
Yeah.
Okay, well, needing 5s on 30 attacks is not. Well, let's just put it this way. Needing 5s and then needing 4s is not 9 freaking wounds. I'm just saying. It was ridiculous watching him pick up all the successes, and you're just like, oh my God, come on. And then me, I'm like, oh, I'm hindered? I need 4s? Oh, shoot, there's 3 hits.
Yeah, 3 wounds.
Cool, three wounds. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, you did 12. Oh, crap. Okay, they're dead. Anyway, hopefully we'll get this battle report out as soon as possible, and then you guys.
Armada one coming out. We got this one.
Yeah. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy the Armada one. Try and work the orcs in as well. So we've got the orcs. We have the elves. We have undead. We have Ratkin.
The mighty Ratkin.
The mighty Ratkin. We have the Ratkin slaves, right? Abyssal dwarves. Yep. So we've got some armies going. Guys, give us any suggestions if you want us to play certain.
I like the table. I thought it looked really cool with the buildings and the river.
I liked it.
I thought it was
had a little theme to it.
Yeah.
Had a little theme to it.
Cool
So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the terrain as well, like we were talking about. Smoke and mirrors is always a very interesting.
I love that. I love the new ones. I think they're great.
Yeah, and sorry guys again if you really can't hear Tom very well. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting about the microphone, so I'm sorry. Please go easy on us with the audio. Hopefully next time we'll have the regular camera back up with the microphone so you can hear both of us. So let's see what else. Your lightning bolt, that sucked.
The lightning bolt was awesome. Off the start, getting those whatever it was 6, 7, 8 wounds on him. Off that dragon, pushed him over to the center. I thought really was a good play. He had the flank and he was coming around and he had like 4 units. So I was in trouble.
It definitely impacted my moving of this whole line because I had to bring him back over. Also, I have to remember that normally I have 3 inspiring units in this army, but I forgot that the one God Speaker on the one side does not inspire. So
that's the curse of having dragons too, is they're inspiring. So you want to get them into combat, but if you leave, you're leaving the inspiring behind.
Right.
So it's hard playing dragons.
So that definitely impacted my strategy. Hopefully we talked a little bit more about tactics throughout the game. At least there were tactics. There eventually got to a point to where it was just kind of what's going to happen.
I was trying to bottleneck him, and it worked out great for me. It was a good play.
Well, yes.
Split his force into 2. You brought him around. It worked out really well.
You know, I think the bottlenecking wasn't as bad as I just could not go through you.
Yeah.
I could not go through you. You know, I was hitting you. I wanted to hit you with 2 units, but I couldn't because of the size of my hordes, and I wasn't able just to get in there.
Yeah.
But then, you know, once I hit you, as long as I wasn't hindered or, you know, ensnared or whatever else, then I went through you like paper.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
it took a while to get there, and then I had to sacrifice other units in order to slow you down. And then, of course, bringing the dragon back over, that impacted my mobility on that side of the board.
He got a little scud action.
Yeah.
Scudster
jumped over there, and Scudster's nasty. Yeah.
Nasty.
It also...
Ratkin definitely runs Scud. He is 13 attack. He's better than the dragon. So he's nasty.
And it doesn't help that when I rolled my 10 attacks, yeah, I didn't hit very well. Couldn't heal anything on this side of the board either, which didn't help. So I tried to heal... I take that back, guys, because I moved him over, turn 4. I tried to heal the whole bunch, and I think I got like 2 successes the whole time with heal. No.
Great heal.
And no, it just really wasn't.
It was like my Bane chant over here. I couldn't get one off, so.
And then over here, my Bane chant went off fine.
Yeah.
But
did you have Bane chant like what, 5?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. With Ulpgar, his little Bane chant life leech thing. But yeah, other than that. It was a rough, after turn 4, it was rough for me because, again, I couldn't go through you. I mean, I was hindered and then ensnare and then, you know, phalanx. So should I have held back a little bit more? I don't know, maybe. Just sat there and waited for the turns to go past and then just jump on objectives. I don't know. I would say yes, except...
I was pushing it. I was coming.
Well, that and I would have totally sat and let you come to me if my heal would have worked better.
Yeah.
But the fact that my heal was not working, I had to push the issue eventually because I could not sit there and just let you shoot at me and be like, ha, come to me. No, I couldn't do that. Yeah.
My lightning bolt shot.
Eventually.
Not a lot of shooting in this game.
No.
You guys are like shooting, but this is not a lot of shooting.
No. Not a lot of shooting in this one. And like I said, again, you know, if my heal would have been working better and I would have been able just to heal wounds back, I would have. I'd have been like,
yeah,
come to me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I was not able to do that. So, again, we're going to get this one out as quickly as possible. You know, obviously we got stuff going on, and putting these together does take some time. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the battle reports.
Yeah.
If you guys want specific armies to play each other, just let us know. And if you want specific builds, we might be able to do it. It kind of just depends. I have a couple of extra units of orcs that are built, but not a whole lot. So if you want a different orc-looking army, you got to give me some time because I'm going to have to buy and paint and build them all. So, but other than that,
really well. 2 dragons, Alpha Strike.
No, you did. I mean, you had the perfect list build with a very complementary board in your favor as well. So I think it was the best possible scenario for you as far as having phalanx, being able to hug the board edge, and then me having to come through so much hindered terrain. For an Alpha Strike unit, or for an Alpha Strike army, that's a complete nightmare. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I agree with you completely. It worked out perfectly fine. Worked out great in your favor. So, yeah. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
I
We're
never...
almost at 200.
I know.
So, I mean,
we're
199.
one away.
We're 199.
One away.
We need one more person to subscribe.
One more person, and then we're at 200. That would be really nice, guys. So without that, do you got anything else?
No, that was it.
All right, guys, have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.